Anyway, let's go. Story chapter XXXIV, the Moon's Origin Finality. This is done through stages. Yep. 5 stages. Let's go. We start on the beach. What? What? I hope tell us the truth, I farted. If I did fart, I would tell you. I'll probably fart at some point throughout this stream. Don't worry. I'll update you on the status report. I'll update you on the status report. What? Holy shit, I just don't think I should speak. Lilia and Rosa, entire team 40% melee physical damage. What? If I do fart though, I'll give you a status update. According to the ratio of the planets, the moon was undoubtedly one of the biggest satellites in the solar system. For instance, the scientific perspective viewed the Earth and the moon as a pair of twins. For 4.5 billion years, they've shared the title of the 3rd planet in the solar system. Oh boy, it's getting a lot worse. It's already scientific. And right now, 380 kilometers from the moon, dark purple runes cover the Earth, making the once azure planet dull beyond recognition. Just like the biosphere that relied on retinal instead of chlorophyll billions of years ago. Mountains, seas, rivers, cities, everything sank into dark solitude and slept in it like an infant in the mother's arms. The land was silent and gentle as usual. It held everything it could in its embrace. Even when oceans dried and all had changed, Jesus Christ. Just have the character scream. What the fuck? What's wrong? Poked her head through the door. Some screams still stuck on her nose. Something's wrong. This is not good. Last time you said you were in trouble, your hand was stuck in the cookie jar. Before that, it was gum in your hair. And before that... So unless you'd rather eat charcoal instead of cake for dinner, I suggest you deal with it yourself. This time, we're under attack. By whom? Rosalia looked around the sunlit bedroom, filled with the aroma of dessert from the kitchen, seeming to realize just where she was. The look of confusion grew on her face. I remember sneaking away and being surrounded by a lot of weird enemies. Tall and huge. They were making a crackling buzzing. Under serious attack. I mean, Honkai beasts. If you know it too, then it couldn't have been a dream, right? It isn't a dream. I told you. Does this matter? This interaction doesn't seem like it matters overall. I suppose you didn't put the complexity of Honkai story as one of the bad things in the video. Because it's only happening now. It's only in the very recent chapters that the complexity has been high, and it's not too bad. You just kind of have to slowly go through it, and it's doable. Vodka Girl's 20th film, Century, something about Honkai. This doesn't seem like an overly important interaction. They could have removed this. If that's the case, then there's nothing wrong about it. Let's go out and play. Did you want to hang out? You should trust your big sister more than often. The cake, Mum will bake us for us. Do they have a mother? What? They have a mother? Time slid by as they played. The late sun dying to see marmalade. Dying to see marmalade. What? What? Marmalade? That's just say a color like orange. Dying to see Nutella. What? The fuck are you saying? It's getting dark. That's enough for today. Afraid of the dark. Once it's 7, something will happen. It's not important. Or we'll waste the day. So they're like forgetting shit because they're having their like memories removed, or they're becoming stigma. They're becoming stigma. Game of hide and seek. What's the point of just 2 people playing hide and seek? It's fun playing with Lily no matter what. She is forgetting something. So they're just becoming stigma. Okay. The waves continue to lap the beach, washing away any unpleasant memories. In another dream, unbeknownst to Rosalia, a young man was walking by the beach. If May was here, she would find that this person looked similar to the elderly who had fused with the stigma space. And now there were no traces of old age on his face, and he no longer wore that dirtied long robe. He wore the most fashionable outfit that he had when he was young. Like a lively youth, he ran on the beach, laughing and enjoying the dawn of life. He completely forgot that in his original youth, he had never seen a real sea. It's Eren Yeager! In countless different worlds, similar suns rise and set countless times. Humans had forgotten the line between dreams and reality and began to embrace their new lives in the Stigma space. Oh, they're already in Stigma space. In a pristine snowy village, a man slid down the hill swiftly on his snowboard and did a perfect flip in the air. Unbeknownst to him, merely half a month ago, he was barely breathing in a hospital ward, and his only wish was to survive through the winter. So Lilia and Rosalia are already in a dream. They're like already in the Stigma space, dreaming thing. In a city that never sleeps, the wealthiest plutocrat had just ended an exclusive interview and was gambling a fortune at the casino. He basked in admiration of compliments from those around him. His life when he was cooped up in a leaky basement far from the home seemed like a distant dream that made this moment so much better. In a clamoring business district, a mother was picking out decorative flowers at the florist with her daughter. The girl had forgotten the news of her mother's death and clung to this illusion of her, where they were talking happily about her upcoming wedding. In a condominium, far from the bustling city, a young artist was finishing his new masterpiece. His family finally understood the path he chose, and his works were gaining traction among fellow artists. This youth had just taken his first steps towards a bright, hopeful future. Next to some ruins smothered by sand, a retired soldier was working with his comrades to rebuild the city from rubbles. The arduous war had finally come to an end, and although their homes were long gone, they never doubted that this city would return to its former glory. In an inconspicuous park with his close friends around him, a young man finally embraced his crush after he had confessed. The goat. The lonesome man finally obtained his long-awaited warmth. This was the first time in over 20 years that he felt thankful for living. I'm assuming this is referencing specific characters, I just have no idea who. In a library lit with candles, a scholar was studying the notes of a trailblazer. Welt Yang? Is this a Welt Yang situation? Is this a reference to the Fallen Rosemary one? Something about trailblazing? He had gotten wisdom that far surpassed others and an eidetic memory overnight. He finally had the ability to pursue the truth of this world. I think that is Welt Yang. Yo or him or whatever. Different souls with a shared vision. Different faces with shared dreams. Life, wealth, feelings, reputation, dreams. These simplest human aspirations were reflected in one another, linked by an amalgam of memories forming its entirety of spiritual Adam. There, an endless dream promised eternity to humanity. Old, young, happy, sad, life and death, a smattered of dreams blurred all the rifts that existed between lives. And for this, humanity was plunged into a deep night called Project Stigma, becoming the planet's shadow. Someone's laughing. A discordant noise. Bro, what are these words they're using? Bro, I swear MiHoYo as a Chinese company knows more English words than I've ever seen in my life. A discordant noise was suddenly heard amidst the endless, boundless dream. A unique grey serpent stood atop a globe distorted by Project Stigma, indifferently looking over the giant born from humanity's dreams. With Project Stigma, humanity's best memories were strung together, shared with each other, and framed with the dream. Those illusions hung like stars in the night sky, shining with humanity's hope and filling an empty world with light. But illusions were, after all, just illusions. Having found the answer he was after and bored with the task at hand, Grey Serpent stopped monitoring Project Stigma, and the world fell into a boundless silence. Oh shit! Oh, this is the main bad guy right now. Okay, they made him actually look kind of badass. That's pretty cool. Even after tens of thousands of years, humans' desires are still framed only in the world they can access. They have not grown in any way. I fear no matter how many times they undergo transformative baptism, they will always be the same. In which case, I have nothing to add. The memories and history here are enough to nourish each other's dreams. So enjoy this new and anticipated life before it is completely merged with a stigmata and enters the end. Sensing something, Grey Serpent lifted his head to the arc. The moon hung silently in the sky, casting a cold gaze onto Earth below. There was nothing else. It looks like it's not just sugar ants that are attracted to such sweet dreams, since we have new guests. As a humble guard of Project Stigma, I'd like to extend greetings to our guests that have traveled all this way. Or maybe it's better to say, to our guest. Okay. Uncle Serpent drip, dude? Honestly, true. If anything, I prefer to side with Project Stigmata, who wouldn't want to live in perpetual happy dream. Skeptics, I guess. Skeptics wouldn't. If someone realizes that every day is merely a different night, realizes that his eyes are equivalent to someone else's eyes, then he would fervently seek for true daylight. This daylight would completely awaken him. To awake when you've already awoken makes everything seem much clearer. Then he will finally realize that those who had two eyes, he only had one. To those who could see, he was blind. That was tough to read. Okay. Boom. Ah! Okay, we teleported to the fucking under-ocean place. The birth canal. We really came back from the moon in the blink of an eye. This is the deep. I see the deep is in the ruins of the previous era's technology center in Mu. It's expected for the Stargate to send us here. In Mu? New Atra. That's what it means. This was once a part of a city called Atra. That's likely because it's connected to the other side of the moon through the Stargate, and it's called New Atra. This is the Marianas Trench deepest point. If we're going somewhere else on Earth, it's going to take some effort. Stored to Project Stigma. Hold up. Where was I? Project Stigma here as they are on the moon. It'll be difficult to use the HoTr Void powers. Are we currently in the Eye of the Deep? Yes, there was this time. There was a time this was directly connected to and influenced by the Sea of Konta, but now Bronya's gaze fell on Sealy. The Sea of Konta can hardly be felt now. It's different from when anti-entropy closed the Eye of the Deep. Project Stigma is affecting this place, but it's still relatively stable with the Sea of Konta's power balancing out that effect. Which means, without intervention, this city in the deep will become part of Project Stigma in time. According to everything we know, Project Stigma tries to write the world into a dreamland, but it's difficult to say just what that means. We should investigate the city. Should provide a valuable experience to help us reacquaint with the world. According to Randall, the Earth probably isn't how we remember it. There are 7 of us. If we head from here, we should be able to split up and find out what's going on. How about Kiana, May on a team, Fuhua and Hirsch of Sentience on a team, and Celia and Bronya? Alright. Since Celia and Bronya are familiar with the deep, we should be able to find some resources. Yeah. Let's split up! That's always a good idea, splitting up. The Hirsch of Sentience says that even though we're 6,000 meters under the sea right now, she still wants to find some place high that she can look out from. Looking for supplies, should we go to the Hyperion? Just tell me exactly what they're gonna do, eh? Let's use Hirsch of Sentience consciousness to network, blah 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 blah. Yeah, come on. Everyone knows what we should be doing, let's get to it. Hirsch of Sentience says... Okay, listen. This is called dilly-dallying and dawdling. Everyone knows what they should be doing, let's get to it, let's get to it. Like, you know. As long as you remember all the fantastic Hirsch of Sentience does for you, I'm not looking for the fame or fortune, I just want you to remember that I've done things for you no one else could. Thanks, Hirschra. Now it's time for a lecture. Let's get to it, like Kiana said. Dude, Kiana's the most logical. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. We're underneath the ocean. Yeah, this is kind of iffy about this right now. Kind of iffy about what's happening right now, dude. It's taking its sweet time. And as for the dream thing, honestly, dude, like, it's more so, yeah, having like a perfect dream or whatever is cool. But if you have the chance of knowing that you are having a perfect dream, unbeknownst to you, probably not. Like, I think that would be pretty shit if you have the chance of just, like, waking up in it, or potentially realizing that everything has been fake. That's probably not a good idea. Elevators seem to be water damaged. I'm sure they are. Oh, fair enough. Bada boom, bada boom. I guess we get to play as her Strobe Truth, which is not bad. Albeit, she's infinitely stronger than all these other 2 characters. Absolutely no reason to switch to these other two characters, even if you have type advantage, because her of truth is busted. B-U-S-T-E-D. What's wrong, Seely? Kevin, what kind of person is he? Ah, Seely asking the big money questions. What kind of person is Kevin? In fact, that is a great question. Who is Kevin? What is Kevin and why is Kevin? Bronya's gaze fell on the Fu of Hua. He's only ever been an enemy. I heard that when Seely ran into him in the Sea of Quanta, he was pretending to be a giant snake. That's Kukulkan. That's Kukulkan. Kukulkan, one of the incarnations of the Vipralopa class Honkai beast. Brahma. Fucking hell, a product of Project Chimera, just like Tlaloc and Kotal, adapted to the Sea of Quanta. That's a huge monster Bronya took down, right? Right, so he probably just chose whatever incarnation looked like most normal. I know you just want to stick up the old timer if you ask me. If you could express yourselves as openly as I do, things wouldn't have gotten to this point. After so many years, what can't pioneers from the previous era sit down and talk about? You know, talk about things, Kevin ought to come to Shenzo and get a little rest and relaxation. I don't think this is something that can be fixed over a cup of tea. Well, if everyone has an open mind, everyone comes into the cup of tea open-minded and ready to accept certain things and maybe discuss, maybe we could fix this over a cup of tea, actually. It can be hard to keep in touch after so much time. After waking up from the sanctuary, no, waking. Waking is, I'm probably pretty sure that's maybe waking up from the sanctuary. Sue and Kevin and I all promised to talk to each other. But slowly we began only talking to each other once every few months, then once every year, and then once a decade. But why? Time does that to you. Over hundreds of thousands of years, something new comes along and breaks the rules. All those rules end up just looking like red tape. But once you start seeing everything as a mere red tape to be broken, well, you've seen the end result. Ron, you noticed it in Mount Taishuan, right? This old timer had forgotten how to play with kids. Brynja had wondered why Fu Hua had valued the experience at St. Freya as much as we did, despite the age difference. After all the time, St. Freya was the only place time seemed to flow normally for me. You realize an old timer, most people try to make their favorite moments last forever. That's true, but people only realize they're alive when time passes by. Moving story to story, experiencing one end into another, constantly creating entirely new possibilities. It might sound like a contradiction, but contradictions lie at the very essence of being a human being. Talking about Kevin, right? Why did we start talking about HoTr reason, time, all of a sudden? For the past 10 million years, we pioneers thought we were solving all these contradictions, but in trying to do that, just as Kevin is, we create new ones. No one wants to be destroyed in Finality, but that's exactly why Kevin is so desperate for Project Sigma. Desperate? That's not necessarily true. It's not so much desperation, but rather that he puts his hope in all of you. He sees in you all something he's been looking for a long time. Then he'll be at full strength, and you can fight to the death. Potion of Sentience? Did you just say that right? She did. Her answer answers the original question. What kind of person is Kevin? A guy looking to fight to the death? Is that the point? Is that the point of that? Is just he's looking to fight to the death? And so outside the realm, by chance, she reminisced about the time tens of thousands of years ago when a needle was put to that farewell record for the first time. Suhua, I'll leave the rest to you. This is our last chance before our actions take their toll. For it, I must load my life into a chamber. You want us to do the same, right? I must load my life into a chamber. That's definitely a line that you can say. And it makes some kind of sense, I think. Bum bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba ba. How much damage does this do? 10,000 per hit? That's absolutely cooked. That's a cooked amount of damage. Holy crap. I kind of wish she was more of an auto-attack character for some reason. I think her animations look so good that Making her an ultimate-based character in terms of DPS is just so unfortunate. Having like really nice fluid polearm animations is just unfortunate. The only character, I think, I'll stand by this until proven wrong, but I think she has the most unique auto attack animations compared to every other character in the game. And for her to be an ultimate-based character, that annoys me. God damn it. Yes, the surface. We're underwater. That's actually incredible. I had no idea that could happen. There's water underwater. The city hasn't changed at all. If things weren't so bad, this would be a great place to visit. According to the plan, this is where we'll split up. Sounds good. I see a balcony over there. I bet the signal will be pretty good. Go to where the Hyperion is docked, eh? Why is this lady over here? Why is this version of her here? Isn't this, Oh yeah, Sarcasm Nyx. A character that I do actually want, but never want to actually roll for ever again. Basically saying is not bad like, hey, I'm a bad guy. It's more like, I'm a bad person because I want you guys to be stronger than me. While this has already been known by players, Seely's still not. Yeah, I know. But Kevin, I'm just, in the end, cringe lord, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, cringe lord. But, it is what it is. I know a lot of, like, the repeats is for the characters to understand. I 100% know that. But I think some things can be omitted. Like, that discussion shouldn't have been that long. Hey, what's up, Missing Throat? And hey, what's up, Godludney? Hope you guys had a great day. Thanks for joining. Look at this leak about 6.5 going on Twitter. Hey, we'll keep those leaks out of the chat for now, as we are not paying attention to anything other than 6.3 right now. But by all means, enjoy those leaks to yourself, Gluttony. But as for now, no leaks. I didn't realize you wanted in on the action too. Seely, that's a dumb thing to say. She was the one who insisted that I come out for some air. That's good too. This is only our second time together, right? Third. The second time I was in Colliston, physically and mentally exhausted from creating Seely. You fell into Seely's arms out cold. Seely seemed completely lost. I didn't like seeing her like that, so I had to make an appearance and help you. Afterward, you cried Seely's name in a daze. I wonder, Bronya, if you knew which Seely you were calling for. What are you laughing at? Bronya's just surprised you included that time. But now that you mention it, Bronya did feel the power of two Seelys. It's a bit late now, but thank you. What is wrong with you? Forget I'm not talking about this anymore. Bronya. Seely wanted to share with her dear Bronya what had happened on the moon, but never found the chance. Like when she woke up alone and confused in New Hampshire shelter, she had to find her friends all by herself and even help some strangers along the way. And when you fell into the deep coma, no one was more worried than her, but you never know it by looking at it. She quietly carried on doing what she could. That kid has grown a lot. There are a lot of times I didn't comb out. I think she's better for it. That's why you haven't made an appearance since you got away from here. From hair, not here. Hair. Were you looking for me? Yes, you're both Seely after all. We have work to do. Don't laugh. I like this character. I like this sarcasm Nyx woman. I like the dynamic. The dynamic between these. Oh! Susanna! Makes an appearance, boys. Susanna! The best quest in all the days, dude. Best chapter ever. Susanna appears like 20 minutes in. The best. Being Bronya must be the best. You flirt with one girl and you get the two girls in return. That's one way to look at it, I guess. I guess that's one way to look at it. Bro, Susanna, the actual main character of the game. The updated model as well. Thank the lords. Susanna. So it is you, Susanna. Susanna. Bronya, am I seeing things? Are you here to save me? Don't be stupid, how did someone from Shixel HQ end up here? I'm not sure either. I was taking a nap at work and then I never thought I'd end up in the deep when I woke up. You know this place? Yes, Alberti told me a group from the Immortal Blades ran into the Far East branch under Teresa-sama a couple of times here in the deep. That's all in the past compared to this. You look like you're trying to figure out how to move the supplies. That's right, I built up the courage to walk around here earlier, but I didn't see anyone. The comms equipment is all busted, only the provisions look good. But storage is cold and damp over there. I want to find a different place to set up camp. Sounds a bit tough. It's not a problem, I'm still looking for fabric for the hammock. But aren't you here to rescue me? Like I said, don't be stupid. Fair enough. Seely Bronya went over what had happened on the moon. The moon? But if that's the case, what am I doing here? Bronya is also confused. Susanna, what were you working on when you said you were taking a nap at work and suddenly appeared here? I was helping Nagamitsu-sama prepare for her experiment. Shixel has just finished repairing Cosmic Juggernaut, the train. Before beginning a new experiment, someone had to clean up the inside of the Divine Key to make sure nothing messed up with the experiment. Tell you the truth, the air in there is so stuffy, I was just taking a little break, and that's when I fell asleep. And when you woke up, you're already here. Wait a minute, that's the story, and that's how it happens. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how HSR begins and why Susanna is not going to be a playable character in Honkai, but she'll be playable in Honkai Star Rail, is because the Cosmic Juggernaut, when it goes to the moon, and it goes to start Honkai Star Rail the game, Susanna fell asleep on it by accident, and that's how Susanna is the strongest character in Honkai Star Rail. So when you woke up, you're already here. That's my analysis. Maybe the Divine's Key power went out of control. There might be other factors at play, but we shouldn't waste time just making guesses. I remember you mentioned all the comms equipment were being broken. Why is that? I've only run simple tests, but I think the circuits are just fried. I thought if I fixed them, I could establish contact with the outside world. Is this also an effect of Project Stigma? If that's true, or the Herschel reason, Bronya, shouldn't you be able to fix it? Is that true? Bronya doesn't know for sure, but we can give it a shot. What are we giving a shot? Repairing the equipment? Alright. That's how Susanna became the main character of Honkai Star Rail. Falling asleep on the Divine Key. It looks fine from the outside, but its components are badly damaged. That's right, under normal circumstances, there's no way to repair them. But in this new Herschel Reason state, repairing it might be simple. Really? Don't count on it just yet. This will be Bronya's first time trying something like this. She held her breath and began intuitively searching for the entire structure. And or not nor. Pardon? And or not nor. That's quite poetic in my opinion. That's poetry. And or not nor. That's probably some sort of like tech talk, but just what a way to start a sentence. Modern integrated circuits were born from staking these four logical operations on top of each other trillions of times. Yeah, obviously. No one could repair a chip that had been broken, badly burned rather. They would instead replace it with an available part. But a perfected Herschel Reason was peculiar in that she could do the impossible. Oh, it's working. Wow. Wow. Everything's looking good. But what good is it? Project Stigma has reconstructed Earth's space. Who are you going to be able to reach out to? 750, 620, 570. There it is. The machine can operate on channel 495. What are you looking for? Channel 495. Overseer Otto and Professor Plank use this channel to avoid shooting at each other during Shixel and anti-entropy conflicts, also known as the Atlantic phone line. What does that have to do with us? If Shixel HQ is in operation, they can be reached by channel 495. Disregarding the black-haired girl's surprise, the B-rank Valkyrie from Shixel began operating the comms device which had originally belonged to the anti-entropy quickly. 3 minutes later, the fruits of her labor were clear. Susanna, is that you? And you're with Kiana and the others? Is this the first visual of Alvatir? I can't remember now. Maybe she was in the manga. Huh. Well, it's Alvatir. Bronya, Seely, and Susanna, of course. It's been a while. It's good to see you alright. Are you Alvatir of Immortal Blades? That's right. Shixel's only designated instrumentalist reporting in. Bronya is sure you know our situation. Thanks to Susanna. How are things by Shixel HQ? To keep Shixel HQ running, Rita-sama, Nagamitsu-sama, and Amber-sama are working hard to keep us safe from imaginary dimensional bleed. And we've established connection with anti-entropy's Salt Lake base. Mr. Yang, Dr. Einstein, and Dr. Tesla are putting up a fight over there. Salt Lake Base. Okay, well, good to see they're all doing well. And Teresa, do you know anything about her? No, Overseer Teresa's whereabouts are unknown. We can't even tell if she's returned from space. And from Salt Lake Base, other than Celia, Rosalia, and Lilia are unaccounted for. From surveillance footage, it looks like they sneaked out right before any spatial change. According to an AI analysis of their lip movement, they look like they were sneaking off to buy snacks. They're idiots. I don't think venting your emotions does us any good, Celia. Alberti, we needed to rearrange. I'm going to arrange a meeting between Shixel, Anti-Entropy, and those of us here in the deep. Is that doable? I'll do everything I can. Nice. Then there's still time. Susanna, you stay here and keep contact with Alberti while Celia and I split up and tell the others to try to meet up in half an hour. Is everything okay with that? Or everyone? Anything to welcome Durandal Summer and Sushang Summer. As long as Shixel and Anti-Entropy send someone, I guess. Don't judge a book by its cover. Susanna, you've surprisingly contributed a lot. Watch your manners. Everyone has something they're good at. Happy? Boom. She's in hologram form in chapter 14, communicating with Rita. I just wish Alberti got a fully fledged model. That would have been cool. Maybe, like, somewhere in this chapter when we all meet up, we'll get that, right? Let's not put it in some, I wish I knew the English language a bit better. Let's not discredit that idea that she might get a 3D model. I just think when we actually meet her, we might. 30 minutes later. The goats. The goats. Although some key members of Shixel and Anti-Entropy couldn't be here right now, it's a wonderful thing that we're able to meet like this under the present conditions. That's enough niceties. Let's get down to business. We'll tell Dr. Tesla... well then, let Dr. Tesla take over from me. That should keep things short and efficient. I'm happy to say a few words. Kiana, right now, the people in this city include yourself, Mei, Bronya, Fuhua, Seely, and the host of sentient Susanna, who has no idea how she got here, correct? That's right. Per our previous discussions, you were trapped on the moon by Project Stigma, returned to Earth, and reached the deep via a previous era Stargate. But this isn't enough to explain what's going on in the city. Can someone from Shixel explain how Susanna has appeared there? I can, Tesla-senpai. I launched her through the cosmic juggernaut. Now, Nagamitsu, why would you do that? Now, why would you do that without permission or something like that? Maybe some sort of, like, communication? Now, why would you just launch her through the cosmic juggernaut? Why would you do that? Cosmic juggernaut, that thing is a headache to activate. You coincidentally managed to do it. We were going to conduct some experiments with the cosmic juggernaut, and Susanna was in charge of cleaning out the divine key. When space began changing, I didn't have time to notify Susanna or anyone else. I had the divine key pick the area where space was most stable and launched her. And now with the effect from Project Stigma, we've temporarily lost the chance to use the divine key. Why do I get the feeling you're leaving something out? At any rate, and with the most of the Earth experiencing imaginary dimensional bleed, this city is one of the few stable areas left due to its relationship with the Sea of Quanta. But now, its stability is also a form of obstacle. It is also a form of obstacle for you guys, rather. What do you mean? We can't hole up here like this forever. The end goal of Anti-Entropy and Shixel is to get the normal world back. Under that premise, the Deep would make a horrible forward operating base. In terms of imaginary space, it's too far away from the front line, and thus would be better suited as a home front. So you're saying we need to open a new front? Yes. As for how to, we need Nagamitsu to figure that out. Wow. Dr. Tesla must be referring to the cosmic juggernaut. I heard your side has just made preparations. Why don't we go through them together? Not really preparations, we just tried finding beacons. But you did find one. But I see Shixel and Anti-Entropy are having trouble capturing such rudimentary beacons, aren't they? Unfortunately, yes. And given the situation, I won't recommend you to go to the Salt Lake Base or Shixel's floating isle now. Those areas are where Project Stigma is concentrated on corrupting, and for us, they're easier to defend than attack. So even though you vaguely sense the space Saint Freya is in, it already means a lot to us. Do you find it difficult to give a specific beacon? Yes, it's a vague feeling, as fuzzy as a dream even. But the weird thing is, when I examined the imaginary space with my HoTr authority, this vague information relating to Saint Freya was always existed in the background regardless of the direction in which I focused. It's like a cosmic microwave background. Cosmic microwave? Have you ever paid attention in class? Cosmic microwave background isn't something Valkyrie's learn in class. Have you heard of the Big Bang Theory? Oh, bro. Susanna got yeeted. She absolutely just got launched. Okay. Now this might be where we're getting to the point, Cares, of this would be one of the things where the story's just trying to be complicated for no reason. Have you heard of the Big Bang Theory? Now it's gonna explain quantum physics and bullshit. Well, actually, back in the day, the world exploded and created what we call particles and shit. Here we go. The theory of the universe emerging as a point of expanding at its current size over time. Well, yes, and the cosmic microwave background is first ray of light that Big Bang emitted. Those lights instantly filled up the tiny universe when they were created. So after the universe was blown up in size, they were ubiquitous, flying towards us from every direction, and flying into the ever-expanding depths of the universe. But in that case, Dr. Tesla, Miss Nagamitsu, are you guessing that Saint Freya is among the first areas on Earth to be swallowed by Project Stigma? Yes! The use of first isn't accurate though, but like the cosmic microwave background we just mentioned, it must have been involved when Project Stigma began to influence the world on a larger scale. This is the sole reason for you to have sensed it in every direction. Therefore, as long as we can find the first breakthrough with the authority of the Void on our side, we won't have much of a problem reclaiming Saint Freya. There's more though. Hold it, there's more. Once we do that, we can make further use of its cosmic microwave background status in Project Stigma and turn it into a bridgehead of reclaiming our space. If Kevin's our final target, we need to restore Earth to its original state as much as possible first. This will not only weaken him, but also ensure that Earth won't plunge into utter chaos after we terminate Project Stigma and go beyond Finality. Wow. Ooh. Wow. Restoring Earth, this is our goal, but how do we do it? Theoretically, we do the opposite of whatever Project Stigma is doing. As surprising as it sounds, this cataclysm is easy to reverse engineer. It'll take another day or two actually. Well, that's really fast. Yes, hence the term surprising, but efficiency is obviously a problem here. Even if our reverse engineering is successful, we can't advance the solution as fast as Kevin, who has the power of Finality. Thus, our future operations will focus on two things. One is to let the masses contribute. What we lack in efficiency, we make up in numbers. Two is to get a hold of the power of Finality. Grab the Finality, dude. Just grab it. Kiana, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be up to you, buddy. That might be up to you, Kiana. Just grab the. I know they both sound impossible, but if we resolve if we resolve to overcome Project Stigma and HoTr Finality, we must pull them off. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, that's what they say. We must open a new front regardless of what will happen. And Saint Freya is the best choice so far, right? Yes, in fact, just now, when I was reviewing the situation on my laptop, my MacBook Air, I realized a way to create a breakthrough. No, yes, what was the breakthrough? 42 hours later! 42 hours later. Actually, I'm glad they're using cosmic microwave background analogy because I learned all this stuff while looking for parallel universe stuff. I actually do understand these. Well, I fucking don't. I'm mostly lost about this quantum bullshit. Do I have some tissues ready? Not really. Nah, I'm good. Right now, I'm more confused than emotional. That was a good nap. But is my alarm faulty? Seems like everyone's already busy at their respective positions. Nobody woke me up today because they wanted me to get sufficient rest to officially begin Dr. Einstein's project. Let's review all the steps of the project before I head down. Firstly, use the Eye of the Deep and the communication device built by everyone to contact Durand and Lisa Shank, who are near the Earth now. Secondly, after reuniting with them, use the Herschel of the Void's powers to guide Subaru into recording the scattered information from Saint Freya in all dimensions. Thirdly, use the technique that recognizes the imaginary to piece all of the scattered information together in an independent dimension to get a stable and complete beacon. Lastly, assign our manpower based on this beacon to counter the imaginary dimensional bleed head on. The success rate of every step is intrinsically related to my execution. That's right, as long as I can stay calm. These are easy feats for a Herschel. You're right, and we've already completed the first step. Durandal comes out of nowhere. Durandulu-sama? You guys are back already? Just half an hour ago. Thanks to everyone, the navigation went smoothly. Sushang is getting some much-needed rest now. You haven't rested for 2 days straight. Are you alright? I'm fine. The Jigsaw has plenty of technology that helps Valkyries fight for days on end. As for why I'm here, even though Sushang's sleeping, you need Sumeru for the second step of the plan, right? That's true. But, alright, instead, once we're done with the project, you have to take a break too, though. Rita has already told me that. Let's make haste. Let's go. Run, I guess. I don't know. New meme template. Kiana smart. Kiana smarter. We'll call her smart. Smarter than she was before. That's what I'll say. I heard that these temporary communication devices were all made by Bronya in 2 days with the HoTr of Reason's power. Will they ever call her the HoTr of Truth, or is that just not really matter? Susanna played a big part as well. If not for her, even if we can communicate with others, it'll be difficult to fulfill all the specifications needed for Cosmic Juggernaut when setting up those devices. According to Bronya, it would have been much harder to help you guys locate the deep accurately. But it was too reckless for Nakamitsu to have ejected her out, although that might just be their unique dynamics. Yeah, yes, the interactions we need, Susanna and Durandal. This is all we need. We were just talking about you, Susanna. Talking about how Durandal and Lee Sushang wouldn't have made it to the deep so smoothly if not for your help. I only did what I had to do. Oh, yes. But everyone is still grateful. That's right, well done, Susanna. I'll even work harder. Let's get to work and start planning for the second phase. Should I open Sumeru? What a statement. Should I open Sumeru? Of course, we'll still have to keep in contact with Dr. Einstein. She'll guide us step by step. After their reunion, Kiana and her friends fervently began their project to reclaim Saint Freya. And for the other Valkyries who had greatly indebted to the Academy, after having lost consciousness for about 3 days, her adventure was about to begin. Alright. You like the angles? Fair enough. I think they're just angles, to be honest, but yeah, fair. Teresa wakes up in the place where World Serpent dude, Grey Serpent, was alive, but fair. This was clearly an unknown world. Thank you, game. Really appreciate it. The narrator's really hitting home on these key words. If you were to describe it as a horror novel, I think that the most relieving thing in the world is that humanity's theologies cannot categorize the world accurately. I remember well, until the end, my greatest fear is not induced by anything visible. I was clearly under significant stress when I wrote these words, for after tonight, I will no longer exist. Oh, Kevin. I hate this man. We are no different from the nature of this earth. To make fire from wood, to slash and burn, even after we have flown to space, humans are still unable to free themselves from their childhood. Every wisdom in this galaxy is limited by how it exists. This isn't an obstacle you can overcome solely with your will. Does the way of existence you speak of include the scene before my eyes? As the new overseer slowly regained consciousness, she began sensing her surroundings. The place was silent, but seemed to be filled with something formless. She smelled something saccharine, and dangerous in what would be called air, like nitroglycerin, smeared on the top of her tongue. She didn't know how long she had been trapped here. Curiously, fucking hell, her body hadn't grown tired from battling, nor hungry from confinement. She tried awakening her power of Vishnu within her, hoping this bizarre sight was another dream that could be devoured. Didn't work. Yet nothing happened. It appeared that this space was no ordinary illusion. I can't be stalled. Dude, surely Teresa gets an upgrade in the next few patches. Like, if this is like the best Teresa battlesuit we have, surely we can get like an upgraded one. Like, the next physical is Teresa. Let's go. That would be actually kind of cool. The next physical battle suit is an upgraded Teresa, and it's like her using apocalypse powers or whatever the fuck. Oh! There's the goat! Woo! There's the goat, boys. Siegfried. There he is. Finally makes his appearance. We knew he was coming because we saw him in the trailer, but there he is. Jesus Christ. What happened to his jawline? Also, where'd the mechanical arm come from? What happened there? Did I forget something? I don't know. Say, Teresa, what are you staring at? Siegfried, is that really you? What, have you met a fake me or something? Or did all the bitter melon juice finally make you silly? There's no one who else will spout such a nonsense. So this is where the World Serpent imprisoned you? No, but it's a long story. And so Siegfried began to explain what he encountered at the anti-entropy base last year. Anyway, from then on, they have locked me up in the Kaslana Stigma space. You said you've also fought the leader of the World Serpent there. Yes, I did. His name is Kevin. He's the originator of the Kaslana family, a hero of the previous era, but also a sinner of this era, right? Do you know what Kevin is doing? No, but not long ago he stole the power of Chimera. If not for that, I wouldn't be here now. Kevin, he seized the authority of Finality and is advancing Project Stigma. According to him, this is the only way to prevent the HoTr of Finality from destroying the world. Although it'll force all humans that can't awaken a Stigma into a dream. HoTr of Finality? What happens outside while I'm locked up? Well, too much has passed, or too much has happened this year. In 400 days, the number of HoTrs has been bumped from 4 to 12, even Otto has passed away. But the children of Saint Freya have grown so much in the face of those hardships. Kiana defeated the persona of the HoTr of the Void and became the HoTr of Flamesong that fights for humans, like the Mr. Yang we know. I need to treat her like a big girl when we meet again. Well, of course. But if you're as sloppy as you were just now, she won't be very impressed. With that said, Siegfried, your left arm, has it recovered in the Stigma space? My arm? I don't really know. When the Stigma space was full of Chimera energy, I was fading in and out of consciousness. I wasn't sure what was going on. I tried breaking out a few times and I'm not sure how I always ended up back in. Even now, everything feels so unreal, as if my body is still trapped, stuck in Stigma space. It's been tough. Do you know what space you're in now, Siegfried? It's very different from Kaslana's Stigma space. I'm not sure, but this has always been a blaring clue. As I said, Kevin has taken the Chimera energy. The direction to which that energy disappeared led me to you. You mean you were able to find me because of how he and I fought? I didn't even think of that, but that makes sense. I thought the disappearance of energy would lead me to Kevin. With you here, maybe we can find the others that have already been sealed away by World Serpent. It'll be difficult to figure out what's going on with just the two of us, but if we save more people, we'll get strength in numbers. It's just like you, even after everything you've been through, just as optimistic as you were when you were young. As your way then, who knows, maybe Kiana and the rest are looking into this from a different angle. Oh. Dante? Honestly, kind of does look like Dante, I'll be honest. That's true. Dante? From Devil May Cry? Maybe they did that on purpose. Hey, what's up, Alicia? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're having a great day. Boom. Oh, we get to play as him? Oh. Ah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Basic attack, use Judgment of Shamash, Judgment of Shamash or Blitz Attacker. Who? Ult is cannon shot. Siegfried ultimate has 3 levels of charge. Sequence 3 of his basic attack restores his ultimate's charge fully. After that, tap ult to use ultimate charge, trigger special, then press attack to trigger follow-up. 1, 2. Oh. I immediately get like suplexed. Yeah. Playable Siegfried, dude. We had playable Kevin, now we have playable Siegfried. So, male character? Surely, right? Surely male character now. On 2. He seems very bare bones, though. They didn't want to make it too epic, so people don't get attached. They didn't want to make it too epic, or people might expect an actual male playable character. I haven't been reading, sorry. I don't want to lug something that weighs half a ton. I'll throw my back out. That's a vibe. Boom! Bam! He's kind of cool though. He's like slow and methodical. You're paying attention to your combos. Our HoTr film series, dude. Huh. Very slow and methodical gameplay. Kat has been searching for you and you finally get to meet her. You gotta love it when two bits of dialogue are going on at the same time. That takes care of that. It was just a wave after wave like we had poked the hornet's nest. If I can figure out the mechanisms behind this, we might be able to understand the current situation. Agreed, but how about I help a little, to save us some time? Ai-chan comes in to save us, eh? This voice! Hello there, I'm Lambda. Since we're short on time, I'll skip the introductions for now. I just hope you can trust that I'm a friend of Saint Freya. We don't have time by being pursued. Accurately speaking, being pursued from behind and about to hit a wall up ahead. According to my intel, in 10 minutes the HoTr of the Void will drastically alter the space here. Worst case scenario, you'll have to face a massive enemy to the death. HoTr of the Void Kiana. Right? They don't know you've come to Project Stigma's mainnet, planet directory, so HoTr of the Void's power can be used to reclaim Saint Freya. It's difficult to explain. What you need to know is that due to Madame Teresa devouring dreams, Saint Freya is the best forward base for the counterattack against Project Stigma. So it's best that we work with Kiana and the others. I feel like Hyperion plays a bit of plot armor here for no reason. Where did she come from? Hey, where were you? How are you? Bit of plot armor here, eh? I can help Madame Teresa, who is a complete outsider to Project Stigma, but things on Siegfried's end are a bit more complicated. You mean my Stigma power? No, something more basic than that, Mr. Siegfried. Do you remember how you escaped the deepest parts of Castellano Stigma space? Isn't that because Kevin took all of the Chimera energy away? I'm asking if you remember exactly how it happened. This is... How is it possible? I don't remember at all. As expected. Like before, you're still trapped there. When Kevin took the Chimera energy, he merely stabilized your form. What do you mean? What is she talking about? What she's talking about is similar to sleepwalking in imaginary space. Like once, I felt like I became a puppet. Never mind. That was likely a dream. Let's focus in on the present. Being stuck in Stigma space can have an assimilating effect. Between Stigma space and the main net, you can split yourself in two, each entity acting independently on the other. It will be difficult to return you to reality because of the lack of substance. But as long as I'm in space like this, there shouldn't be any other issues, right? Yes, but as I had mentioned before, in 10 minutes a massive enemy unit will appear here, following the spatial distortion, blocking our retreat. That doesn't seem like a big issue. As long as you all can escape, it won't matter if I win or lose. It's like a dream, after all. Don't worry, it's just a temporary solution. You won't be trapped for long. I'll take your word for it. If you trust this Lambda, you should get going while there's still time. A strange tearing noise could be heard. It sounded close by. They began early. Alright, go. It was as she said. With everything running unusually smooth, Kiana was able to integrate the beacon 5 minutes ahead of schedule. And for the people in the deep, this would be a solid step forward in changing the world. Meanwhile... The first 3 steps are completed. That went almost too well. I kind of wish they showed this shit. Like, remember in Colliston when they were on the bridge and it showed like the the HoTr of Reason and Thunder, like, fusing, not Thunder. HoTr of Reason and someone else fusing powers into Kiana so she can do something. Bro, show the shit happening, man. Do a little small animation or like a panel. There's no harm in showing what the fuck's happening. Like, show the portal opening. I don't fucking know. I want to see what's happening, man. A portal just appears. Oh, fuck off. It's only taken 37 minutes. That's impressive. What's wrong, Durandal? It's good the plan is going well, but that just means the worst is yet to come. Freeing Saint Freya from Project Stigma is a really good start. You're right, Saint Freya's unique spatial beacon makes it a perfect base to advance from, and we can use Cosmic Juggernaut at Shixel HQ. With Project Stigma eroding a lot of the surface space, Cosmic Juggernaut won't be able to directly impact the deep, but with Saint Freya's beacon exchanging intel with will be a lot easier. Once Saint Freya is free, we can start supporting Shixel HQ and even include the Salt Lake base. Rita can fight by our side if needed. We won't need any boots on the ground in St. Freya yet. How are we going to split up the groups? It makes sense to have all the students fight together, but we'll need to stay behind and guard the deep. We'll have Fuhua, Senpai, HoTr Sentience, and Susanna stay and protect the deep while Sushan continues to rest. The rest will go and fight. Does that mean you'll fight? Oh, you'll be fighting Durandal? You haven't slept in 2 days. It's fine. I've been in fights that were more drawn out than this. I'd rather take a short rest after I know I'm not needed. Don't be naive, we're doing this to save the world. No objections, let's get to work. Sure. Yeah, cool. We'll just take the portal that no one knows how it appeared. Incredible. Incredible. Ah, yes. The place everyone loves. Saint Freya. This is Saint Freya. Although I had recently relived this in the HoTr's mind space, the real academy is still so nostalgic. Bro, we barely know it. Relax, HoTr. May lady. Relax. Relax, buddy. Looks there are no enemies nearby. Maybe we can start constructing our base. We're not going to take a look around. Bronya's game console might still be there. Durandal might take it seriously. Seely's never been here, right? True. Did you also notice something, Seely? Yes, that space there seems to have been damaged by a power that's not from Kiana. Can you use your HoTr of authority to investigate the area near that church? Sure thing. It's not going to show it, is it, though? Whoa! Never mind, it does show it a bit. Holy fuck. There we go, that's what I like to see. Indeed, something's wrong with that space. Okay, that pan backwards, not that great. We broke a few textures. No, there's something wrong. Let's check it out. Indeed. Bro, I don't want to see this RP walk, man. Let me skip, dude. Jesus Christ. Gotta slowly pan into nothing. What is this, a story game? What the fuck? Ah, yes. The super long bridge. Oh! Gaku Encho. Oh, imaginary. Ah, imaginary enemies. Oh. Did they have to do imaginary? Couldn't it have been someone else? Couldn't have been like, I don't know, like a mech? Guess that doesn't make sense. Guess we are just gonna be fighting imaginary enemies from now. God damn it. Boom! Bam! Boom, 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 wham! Slam! Get on the horse, Teresa. There it is. Principal! Teresa! It's me, Principal. I'm so glad to see you're safe. Just some side effects from the emergency transfer. Where is everyone? Everyone told Teresa what had happened on the moon and in the deep. I mostly get what's going on then, but even though we've only just gotten back together, I need to trust you with an urgent mission. Go ahead. If the spatial rift in this area hasn't disappeared yet, I hope we can trace it back to the source and save him. Siegfried! Solana. Both daughters gasp. Dad? What do we need to know for this mission, Overseer Teresa? Time is limited, but we need to make sure everyone is caught up to speed. Teresa briefly summarized what had just been through. Blah, 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 blah. So Dad has always been trapped by Kevin in the Kaslana Stigma space. And with Kevin taking the Chimera energy, this might be the perfect opportunity to save him. But with only a spatial rift left behind by the principal, finding Kiana's dad or even the Kaslana Stigma space won't be easy. But if we throw two people that already have a history with Kaslana Stigma space into the mix, two. Of course, Overseer Teresa, and me. As unbelievable as it might sound, I'm the awakened of Kaslana's stigma. What? It has to do with HoTr, but I'm afraid it's too complex to explain now. For the sake of time, you'll just have to trust me. Classic, just trust me. Alright, Rundle, thank you for telling us. And no matter what, I'll make sure to do everything I can to help. We'll support you wherever we can. This will give us a big edge against Kevin and Project Stigma if we can take back Stigma space. Anything I can do, just ask. From what we've seen, Sumu can also help supplement the HoTr of the Void's power, and I will try to use Vishnu's power to help you, Kiana. We'll all use the power of friendship and our respective powers to help Kiana do the thing that she needs to do. Let's get to it. Mustering all their spirit, Kiana could sense the strength of everyone around her. Sumu gathering together the fantasies of 3,000 worlds. Vishnu devouring countless dreams one by one. How does that help us? How does that help us, how does Vishnu help us? Just devour some dreams. Alright. Death from the Sea of Quanta, quietly sowing the seeds of life. The story depicting the theory of civilization drew a bridge across the ages. And of course, the long-standing signet shining like a beacon. What the fuck is this game saying to me now? The game said absolutely nothing of relevance. Fair enough. We'll just hit it with a fair enough and move on. This place again. Oh, cringe. This is where Kaslana Stigma space and imaginary space meet. In Colostan, Otto had exiled me here. So we're still a ways away from the core of the Stigma space. But where are the others? Obviously, Teresa hasn't fully recovered, and the others, their bodies aren't compatible with the Kaslana Stigma space. And, well, it's nothing. As you can see, it's very easy to get lost here. It's a good thing there are still traces of Teresa's dream devouring left behind. Just mark them with Sumu, and... okay. Follow the signposts. I can very easily tell you that these are not signposts, these are in fact small glowing balls of energy that are directing me in the forward direction. I hope. This place though, where's the big tree? Yo, where's Otto Apocalypso? What the hell, man? Where's Otto S Apocalypsis? Game's a scam, no Otto Apocalypse? Boom! Bam, bam, bam. Playing this character perfectly. No one's played this character as perfectly as me. Bam. Enter the spatial rift. Shupatsu. She said Shupatsu. Let's go. Follow Kiana's or Bianca's memories. Oh, dude, I wasn't asked. Oh, I didn't know there was gonna be choices. Who do I like more? Eh? Can I choose like Bronya or something, or like I don't know, Aponia? Can I choose any of those characters? Is that any like sub choices for Aponia? We'll go Bianca. Screw Kiana. What is a father? Oh. What? Is this a question Durandal's asked? What is a father? What is, in fact, a father? Let's find out. As someone who believed that she was an orphan, her answer was vague. Now her name was Bianca, and she was no longer a Kaslana. She had never regained her memories. Her past life felt like a movie that she watched. But even so, I was hesitant because I didn't know what was the best for your future and your mother. Indeed, we are all Kaslanas, warriors equal standing, but as a father, of course, I wish that you can have a peaceful childhood and grow happily and healthily as your mother hoped for. But is that really possible in Shixel? Will it make our lives better if we did nothing? Would be able to live up to the Kaslana name? In the end, we can't turn a blind eye to this, right? On that day, you persuaded our father. I'll be his assistant in this operation. If you knew how it would end, would you regret? Regret? Why aren't you my future self? But I'm no longer you. Perhaps you are no longer me, but I am still you. Oh. Oh, it's a full-blown animation? We haven't gotten one of these in a while. Okay. Ooh. That's kind of cool. What a bold line. Oh, is she doing the... Is she doing the thing? The sacrifice thing? No. Oh, nope, never mind. Just using a divine key. Oh, hello there. Okay.
そうだ。今日はお前の誕生日だったな。今まで祝ってやれず、本当に父親失格だ。でかいケーキを買ってちゃんと祝おう。
Alright. Cool. You're not quite home yet. You're kind of still in the middle of Stigma Space, so maybe say that when you actually get home. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. That was cool. That was a sick animation. Oh, nice. Cool. Real daughter and adopted daughter. Epic gaming. Didn't you say? Kaslanas protect the ones they love most, regardless of the cost. So we are here. Teresa was right, you really have grown. Well, what can I say? I really learned to take charge. But I couldn't have done it without everyone's help. Principal Teresa, my friends from St. Freya, and, of course, Durandal. Somehow, I've awakened more than one stigma. Yep, nobody knows how. HoTr. Pretty much. Enough chatter. I've set up the beacon now. Let's head back to safety. Let's get out of here. Durandal. I've met you before, no? she contemplated. She had once made a grave promise under a noble conviction. There will come a day when I will help Kiana save the father we share from that infernal place. Now that promise has been fulfilled, and she had to let the hero before her know his daughter was alive and well. But it wasn't as easy to do as she had imagined. She found that regarding this matter, she was easily regressed to how she thought when she was 12. Jesus Christ, who's that again? Schrodinger? Know this, the unperishable pervades all. The enduring cannot be destroyed. It has given birth to all the world, and this you must understand. I am both the world's origin and its destruction. They're taken from that Bhagavad Gita. Read to me ages ago by a classmate that loved Indian mythology. What you're feeling now reminds me of Arjuna before the world, Arjuna, whatever, in a few ways. Arjuna? A prince and great hero from Hindi mythology. He saw many of his close friends stand by his enemies in the Kurukshetra war. In his disappointment, he was unwilling to fight. And then that guy talks about how the god Krishna persuaded Arjuna to pick himself up and rejoin the fray. But I'm not facing any of my friends on the battlefield. Yes, you'd never meet any friends here. Bianca, the problem you'll encounter is the opposite of what Arjuna faced. And because of that, you'll ironically share similar emotions with him. I don't really understand what you're talking about. What I mean is, you originally have no common ground nor conflict with the enemies you'll face. As such, you're afraid of everything. Hesitation, confusion, and even fear remains in your heart. Until now, you've only ever followed the captain's or leader's plans. You'll never truly considered what your purpose is in the whole incident. A misplaced sense of responsibility, this is why you're nervous now. Because you always saw yourself as an outsider. You're afraid to fail the expectations of those from another world. I've heard about your past from Rita. You're a very competent Valkyrie. What brings you joy is always the result of the mission and incidents, not the process. I think that's exhausting and unnecessary. But, Bianca, if you only look at the results, there are countless things that are meaningless in this world. What's the point of birth? What's the point of death? What about humanity in the world? And the universe? For example, you, Bianca, you are the meaning of your existence. To other Valkyries, you are an admirable source of encouragement. To that Overseer, you are an indispensable training sample. To the people in this bubble universe, you are a heroic upholder of justice. To yourself, you started from nothing and written your own life. These are not results. They will only begin from nothing and disappear into nothing. The salvation that this bubble universe anticipates is not a result, but a process, a movement. Just like Wagner's or Richard Strauss's movements, you have the power to finish a performance that belongs solely to you on stage. This has not even an atom of association with whether you are someone from this world. Fair enough, Schrodinger. Fair enough. It was only when the girl recalled what Schrodinger had told her on Caledonia that she suddenly realized the hesitation caused by the memory loss was in fact only creating more memory loss. Then she made a decision. Mr. Siegfried, if you can recall where you had seen me, then the story I'm about to tell you will be much easier to understand. About 2 months ago, I fell for Otto's hoax and was banished to a place within the imaginary space. It was a crimson-red desert, a unique dimension inside the imaginary space. Never-ending history, they will continually appear through subconscious means. But during my aimless drifting, I met a special existence. He was a hero who could bravely face everything, even though it seemed like destiny had already shredded his life apart like paper. He had lost his wife and daughter, but he had never lost his will to fight, and always moved forward optimistically. In myths, Sisyphus labored to push the boulder up the mountain and then watched helplessly as it slid back down, and so on and so forth. In a certain way, that's the norm in life. I cannot resonate with his life just because of that. On top of that, he chose to be a warrior of destiny. He chose an attitude towards life that I wish I could take on too. Never bowing to fate, never sundering to the world, always holding on to the purest conviction at the bottom of his heart. This is the true mark that Sisyphus left behind us. The proof of a hero, even more so proof of humanity. So even though to him, that encounter may be a forgettable days, but compared with my kin's, my past before I had lost my memories, his attitude towards life, the encouragement that the fragment of his persona had given me, those are my true treasures. And because of those things, today, Kiana and I determined to liberate him from the most tragic destiny. To put it egotistically, it's not for him or Kiana. This determination comes from this hero's life and resonated with me. Mr. Siegfried, back then, the fragment of the persona I met, he is like the HoMu in this photograph, after it had faded in color. He... Nobody could explain what really happened. I feel like the writing could. Someone please explain it. That freshly restored photograph was definitely a form of imaginary construct. When it disappeared, a small miracle also happened. The misplaced star had returned to its supposed time. The gusts of wind roused an almost inaudible echo. The hero's life intersected and overlapped here, yet it did not change who he was at all. He gained the memory of the fragment of his persona, recalled the fated HoMu, and regained a dream that belonged to reality. And she also fulfilled her wish from 10 years ago, fulfilled a trivial wish that originally had no continuation for her past self. Life is a bridge. No, it isn't. Its greatness does not come from its purpose. It connects noon, dusk, and dawn, allowing its intrinsic purpose to endlessly augment in the process. Whether it's the girl or the man, or their shared relatives, they are their own creator, solver, and savior. They changed the past that had been determined until their will said, this is what I wanted in the past. In the future, I also want this. Nobody likes to suffer, but they take pride in their own lives. You gonna have some sort of revelation? This time, I finally heard your voice. Back then, you shouted so loudly. They're all cool and beautiful names. From when you woke up in the sanatorium in 2008 till you became the youngest A-rank Valkyrie in 2011, until the second year you had immersed in the Sea of Konta and saved the distant world. At the age of 12, you had already created miracles that no other Kaslana had ever done. Though, as you once said, we shouldn't define heroism by success and failures. But be it Ancora and Equinox, or the HoTr that fights for humanity, both of you have already far surpassed your own parents' limits. See, that's a nice and understandable line. Be it Ancora or Equinox, or the HoTr that fights for humanity. Great. Although as a parent, I want nothing more than for all of you to live on happily. But who doesn't wish for the student to surpass the master, and who wouldn't be proud of daughters like you? Let your foolish father, Siegfried Kaslana, be the most fortunate father in the world for a while. What are you waiting for, Dad? A butt? Well, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Wholesome photo. We waited, what, like 75 fucking years for this to happen? Great. A round of applause, everyone. A round of applause for this wholesome moment of father, daughter, adopted daughter, memory loss, what else happened? Memory regaining, history, whatever's. Great. Good job. Siegfried, you got a metallic hand now, and you also look like a bum, but it is what it is. A bit of Dante. Dante also looks like a bum 90% of the time, but I guess that's the charm. I don't fucking know. This is what a family should be like. Well, you're missing a mother. That's what we're missing right now. I don't want to say it, but we're missing a mother. That's usually what actually completes the family, but hey, that's just me. In the past, you guys are the ones who gave me the opportunity to join this family. On such a special occasion, of course I have to give you two a push. It's just like Kiana to do this. Of course, if you guys simply gave monologues about life during this long-awaited reunion, that's too strange, isn't it? Ha ha ha! Bro, they're just gonna hit you with the end screen like that? Oh. Oh, they're just gonna hit you with the end of a stage screen? Is that it? That's it. Bruh, this is my one problem with stages, is that it just feels, it's like such an abrupt ending. Boom. That's my only problem with stages, is that it doesn't feel... It's not a smooth kind of thing. It's just... End. There's more? No, there isn't. Oh, there is? Oh, it just doesn't continue to stage 5. Oh, it just doesn't continue. Why didn't it do it? I have stamina, don't I? Bro, I don't have stamina? Why? Where'd it go? What the hell? Oh, game. This game fucking blows. This is another reason why open worlds are infinitely better. I'm saying it. Stages suck. I don't have to use stamina in stages. Whose cake do I not care about? Who are you? Durandal, that's alright. Who's this? Bronya. Jesus Christ. Alright, did I get the stamina? There we go. This is why open worlds are infinitely better. I don't have to care about my stamina, dude. Alright, go. Jesus. A while later at St. Freya High School. Oh, Rita! Oh! They'll be returning soon. According to the Genius's indicators, there are 3 people. So quickly! I'm not mentally prepared for it. And that was true. Thanks, narrator. After all, it had only been 15 minutes after she heard some shocking news from Rita. Rita also arrived here at St. Freya only 20 minutes ago. Looks like Master Siegfried really has 2 very outstanding daughters. Next, we just have to use the Cosmic Juggernaut through the beacon that they have set up to lure the Kaslana Stigma space away from Kevin and transfer it to you. We'll be one step closer to defeating Project Stigma and Finality. Wait. Teresa will become the Project Stigma space? Is that gonna be that? Honestly, if like Teresa can get that cool upgrade of like becoming the Stigma or the Kaslana Stigma space or whatever the fuck, that'd be kind of cool upgrade. She becomes the embodiment of Kaslana. But Kevin chose to give up this point to Project Stigma. If not, we would never have a chance to do what you just said. Yes, or rather, after the sudden initial rise, Project Stigma no longer requires a specific point. From another perspective, when it comes to reclaiming to Earth, there is probably no shortcut. Please rest assured, Teresa-sama, you should place more trust on your 2 nieces. Look, they're really back. I'm going blind reading this. The closest path will lead you to the longest road, as how only through the most complex practice can humans enjoy the simplest melody. Travelers have to knock of every stranger's door classic. Of every stranger's door to find their own homes. Humans have to drift outside before they can arrive at their final sanctuary. Yes, we are back. You didn't expect us to see so soon, did you, Teresa? I have to introduce you to... No need for that. She's Cecilia's daughter, right? Yes. I'm sorry, Durandal. Just now, I shared a long-held secret with Teresa. It's right, because Durandal is much braver than I imagined. And she chose to tell you guys, right, Kiana? Of course, she's Shikshul's strongest Valkyrie. She should have this much courage at least. You shouldn't underestimate psychological battles. But in that case, Teresa, shall we give the strongest Valkyrie and the strongest HoTr some personal space? There's no danger for now in St. Freya anyway. So, before we officially begin our strategic meeting, everyone would be happy to give the 2 Kianas some time to themselves. Yeah, rather than what we think, what they wish to confirm with each other is most important. Yes, where should we go, Kiana says to Kiana. About the fountain, says Kiana. Okay, says Kiana. The classic behind the back little fucking shy thing, dude. What the hell? What the hell? You gotta have them say Kiana at the same time, really? Bro, this isn't some sort of romantic thing, eh? This ain't that, dude. Just be normal. Be normal. This day came so abruptly. Yeah, after all, we were still getting to know each other in front of the church in Colston not too long ago. Then it's the first time you told me about the bubble universes and what duty meant to you. Soon after, I knew that you were like me. You also had no memories of the time before you were 8, and I sustained a heavy injury to my head during an accident, so I don't remember anything that happened before that. We were even told the same reason why it happened. So I'm not surprised. Are you being considerate towards my feelings, Kiana? You know my answer, Kiana. Siegfried's daughters, they are two completely different people who live completely different lives. Whether we feel deprecated or proud of it, that's not something that we should do. I know what you mean, but to me, the real Kiana Kislana is a special existence. This name was once something that the Hersha of the Void held over me, but in the Hersha core memory, I saw the entirety of that history. She was the first person to treat me kindly. I inherited this name from our father to memorialize the good she had given the world and to bring it to many others. She is who I admire, the starting point of my life. I'm really glad that I still have the chance to say all these to her. Thanks, Kiana. And just like the two Sealies, we can use the same name. That'll throw everyone off. To me, who have lost my memories, Bianca is far more important name than Kiana. It is the name I chose for myself, my first partner. It even accompanied me in my 4 years before I crossed the 7 seas and anchored the world. Just like how Kiana accompanied you. Living in this world, in addition to being children of their parents, they are more themselves. That's what a name does. It helps us know ourselves and hints at the path we'll take in the future. This is what Dr. Tesla once told Mr. Siegfried, and soon after he gave you the name Kiana. If not for this name that Dad gave me, I would never have won the weakness within me, nor come to where I am today. It's not just Dad, Mother, Himiko, everyone who has helped me here before. It is the kindness that you all have shown that gave me my life today. It gave me the belief of fighting for all that is beautiful in this world. And it all began with, back at the fighting cabin, when someone was willing to treat her genetically modified clone as her little sister. My elder sister. Regardless if her name is Kiana Kislana or Bianca Adetagina, I'll always be willing to be her little sister and her family. You should know that I've long lost that part of my memories about Mr. Siegfried and about you. But what's important is the future. As expected. Indeed, if we wallow in the past, nobody can continue to welcome a new life and new challenges. One night, I burned all my memories and my dreams became transparent. One morning, I threw away all yesterday, and since then, my steps have been light. If you shed tears when you miss the sun, you also miss the stars. We're just chucking out quotes at this point. Yeah, if you sleep in a bed, you're comfortable. Yeah, if you wake up in the day, you've woken up during the day. Just chuck out some fucking fire quotes, why don't you? When the sun sets, it's nighttime. Nah, banger quotes right now. From now on, I'm gonna call you Big Sis. Yes, no worries, little sis. Oh, that just feels very obvious. I just don't feel like that would be the flow of the conversation, you know? From now on, I'm gonna call you my big sister, and I'll call you little sister. Just don't think that would happen. Maybe not in the West, I don't know. The two destined to live through strange, intertwined fates laughed together and seemingly could not stop. Of course, the past cannot be changed, but life is always just beginning. No, it isn't. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? There's a massive space between the comma and the S, but that's fine. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime to hot the eye of summer shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust. Oast? oust? I don't fucking know. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Gee, I don't do poetry, man. I'm having a heart attack reading this shit. The two chatted. The two chatted happily with their friends for a while. After that, Durandal temporarily returned to the Shixel HQ with the emerging reinforcement Teresa, Siegfried, and Teresa. No. Durandal returned to Shixel with Rita. Teresa and Siegfried also established connection with anti-entropy with long-distance signals. Well, these sound effects are crazy. The running? Crazy. Oh, they seem anxious. Bronya's not exhausted because she just fucking floats. Jesus Christ, Bronya. Summon a bike or something for the lady. Holy crap, Bronya's useless. Bronya's just floating in. Seely's exhausted. Create a fucking a hover bike or whatever. Don't panic. We don't know much about the situation. What's going on? What's happening? Kiana. In the past half an hour since you've entered the Stigma space, have you seen May? That's the cliffhanger. Have you seen May? Alright, what bullshit are they gonna create? What happened here with May? She got abducted. The HoTr of Thunder got abducted. That's what happened. The HoTr of Thunder got abducted. Weak. That's cool. That's cool. That's all there was there. Very cool! We also got this chaotic dimensions thing to do as well. I like that story. Very nice. Very wholesome. Very, fulfilling. Very emotional. Although, yeah, the tears part, I don't think anything there was tears-worthy. Honest to God. Nothing there was really tears-worthy. I'll be real. No one died. Nothing bad happened. It was just a nice reunion between daughter and father. Or daughters and father. Although very cool. Can we see those things again? How the fuck do you see the pictures again?